Hello, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter and Ezekiel Trezevant. We are your Las Vegas Raiders beat writers on SI and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast. We just got out of practice literally just a few moments ago. We talked to Aiden O'Connell, Cam Miller, Ashton Jeanty. We got a lot to talk about today. And so let's just dig in. Talk about some of your observations first.
Yeah, I noticed the first thing, and again, we talked about this privately, but the one thing that stood out to me the most is Cam Miller. Cam Miller's out there balling. I mean, you kind of try, sometimes people try to count him out because, where he came from in terms of college, but he's out there balling. His confidence is growing, and his teammates love him. I mean, that's the one thing that stood out to me probably the most is just how his teammates react to him. Tons of other stuff, but that was what practice ended on, and it was hard not to notice it.
It was very difficult not to notice. And one thing that stands out, several things that stands out with me is anytime you talk about a backup, people love quarterback controversies.
Yes.
Okay, he's not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's telling you this guy's ready to lead an NFL franchise. But I think everybody's telling you he's going to one day run an NFL franchise. You're starting to see why Spytek talked about Brady like this kid.
Yeah, he's coming. I mean, I think that's the easiest way to put it. Still has a ton of development. I think Cam Miller himself would tell you that. Hell, he just told us that a minute ago. So he knows he has a lot of development left. But you can start to see the writings on the wall that, he's a good quarterback. He's got skills, and there's a reason why Tom co-signed him.
I had heard something from one of the teammates about him after the game the other night, and he talked about it today. He goes, he was going up to people apologizing for the interception.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of them literally said to me, it was a preseason game. It was over. I had forgotten he even threw an interception.
Yeah.
And he's up there. I apologize to my entire team.
Yeah.
And then, but you can tell this, the moment's not too big for him.
Yeah.
I mean, you just heard him say, I'm not nervous.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think if you thought the moment was too big for him, I know it was week 1 of the preseason, but what he did in Seattle, that should remove all doubt that the moment is too big for him.
Yeah.
Still has a lot of work to do, but the moment is definitely not too big for him. In terms of running an NFL franchise, just the way he stood up there a moment ago and took accountability for things that may or may not have been his fault, just like a starting quarterback would. So he's got the signs, man. The signs are definitely there for Cam Miller.
And they love the kid.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, the teammates tell the truth.
Yeah.
The teammate, again, he made a huge play today. And again, he's been making plays. So this is not anything new in practice. And since that Seattle game, he's been making even more plays. But today, just the way his teammates reacted, I mean, offense and defense, they were through the roof when he made a good play at the end of practice today. I think that speaks volumes.
All right, let's talk about practice. Zeke, I did not expect it to be as physical as it was. I'm going to be very frank. Last week of camp, I thought it would have been dialing down. It was, I saw Elandon Roberts.
Yes.
He hit Sincere McCormick, and I'm going to be sincere for a minute.
Yeah.
His grandkids are going to be born with a headache.
Yes, and not just Elandon. I'll also shout out Jermaine Pratt. I saw Jermaine out
Jamal
there.
Adams had the one on Jeanty.
Yes, he got Jeanty pretty good. Listen, those guys, especially the defensive side of things today, from the start of practice, those guys were physical. They were bringing the pain. And so I think that's what you're going to see. I think they put that on display in the second preseason game in the first and second quarter in terms of how physical they can be and how physical they plan to be. I think for this defense, physicality is going to be the equalizer for them if they are physical enough this year.
Now, this is your third camp, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is...
Sir, yes.
I believe you worked for me 3 years.
Yeah.
Time
is flying.
I'm so proud to work. I'm so proud to work with you.
Thank you.
This is my 6th. It isn't even close. This is the most physical. Now, I want to say with a caveat. Pete's not stupid in his physicality.
Right.
I've seen some camps here that I'm like,
why are they doing that?
That's stupid. I remember, I'm not going to name any names, but one in particular, you and I were standing there and we're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
It's calculated, like Ashton taking a hit. They don't want him to go to New England. And he's only been touched a few times.
Right.
No, because it's going to be a pounding. They're not abusing him.
No.
But were you shocked at the physicality today?
Well, today, yeah, and again, I was shocked at how quickly it popped. Right.
I mean, right in the
like it was,
bam.
And then it was the first couple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. They were bringing the pass. They were hitting out there today. And yes, I was shocked at how, because usually especially if it's a game week, things kind of die down. It's a little bit of preparing. It's a lot of preparing for the game, but they kind of take down that physicality. But that's not the case here. They picked it up today. And to your point, I think with Ashton specifically, they're all the talk about can Ashton withstand the physicality of the NFL. That has made it into this locker room. They hear the talk,
Oh yeah.
and I think that they don't want that to be a thing, and they're going to make sure that they make sure it's not a thing, and you don't have to worry about that physical part with Ashton.
I told Ashton after practice today, you were there, um, that I watched all of his film after the Raiders picked him.
Yeah.
I have a college coach that got me all the,
Mhm.
the film. And not from his college,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got all the film. I didn't think he was very good in pass protection
Mhm.
because they didn't ask him for it. So I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been stunned.
Mhm.
No, this wasn't smart,
Mhm.
but I watched him one time put his helmet in the guy's stomach.
Yeah.
I'm like, get your helmet over to the
Yeah,
side. Don't
yeah.
lead with your helmet, kid. But you saw the grin on his face when I'm like, you take pride in that, don't you? He said, oh yeah.
And to that point, like again, I think he takes pride in it, but I think the whole players don't read the press clippings. I think that throw that out the window. I think these guys hear the talk. I think when Ashton came in, he heard some talk that his
He
pass.
referenced he
Yeah,
did.
he heard the talk of he can't make it, or he can't withstand the physicality. He heard all
Can't
that
catch.
he can't catch, and that he can't pass pro. And I think those are things that they're emphasizing with him. And then again, like you pointed out, he's gonna have to pass pro more on the professional level than he ever really did in college. So they're emphasizing it. He's working hard on it. And once you start to take those things that he needs to work on and he fine tunes those things, I mean, he's probably going to be one of the top backs in the league.
Do you know who Olivia Newton-John is?
No, no, I feel like it rings somewhat of a bell,
Okay,
but no.
so I got to tell you guys this story. I mentioned to you this rapper Jazz,
Uh-huh.
and then you looked at me like as an idiot after about 20 minutes trying to figure out who I was talking about. And you said, do you mean Jay-Z? And I said, yeah, it's Jazz. I had no idea who the guy was. And you
Yeah,
looked at me like I'm an idiot.
yeah.
I am now looking at you as an idiot because you have
He definitely looked at me like I was an idiot.
because
Now
you
you
have
saw
no
on
idea.
camera.
Olivia Newton-John made teenagers from my generation sweat. Okay,
Okay, okay.
she's from Greece. Do you even know the movie Grease?
The movie Grease, yes, yes. When you said Grease, I thought you meant like Grease, not the movie Grease.
Okay,
But I'm with you.
Okay, she has a song. I wanna get physical, physical.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Okay, I know the song. Yes, okay,
okay.
we're here.
That was if there was a theme song for today's practice, it'd be "I'd Want to Get Physical." Would you
Yes,
agree?
yes, I would agree. Right from the start, man, those guys were bringing it.
It was intense. All right, I want to turn to a guy that has just had a phenomenal camp, and I thought practice today he was his best.
Mhm.
Caillou Blue Kelly. I mean, you saw they're practicing the deep ball a
Mhm.
lot today.
Mhm.
His ability to look back, he doesn't put his hands out to get pass interferences, but man, he uses that butt to push you out of the way. Uh, Help me here. I want to
Listen,
tap the brakes.
so no, don't tap the brakes. I was actually going to say the opposite with Caillou. Throw him out there. Like he needs more and more reps. He's proving himself every day. One-on-ones, teams, it doesn't matter. He's popping out there. He pops at least one time every practice. He needs more reps. He needs more reps, and the more reps he gets, the better he's going to get. I was telling somebody today, the Raiders need at least one cornerback to step up and outperform expectations. At least one, and I think it's going to be him. So,
Do you remember former All-Pro Dre Bly?
yes,
Okay, I love Dre,
yes,
and first I loved him as a person. He's a wonderful guy. He's a coach now,
yes, sir.
and it was a great All-Pro player. Caillou, he just plays a lot like Dre Bly.
Yeah.
He's not there yet,
Mhm.
but does he not remind you a lot of Dre Bly?
Can you tell me this? I feel like are they similar sizes? I'm asking.
Yeah, they are.
I feel like they're similar sizes off of what I can remember about Dre. But yeah, it's just efficient. I think that's the best word I can use for Caillou.
Oh,
Uh,
that is a great.
yeah,
That's a great way.
he's
Yeah.
efficient. He gets the job done, right? So it might not always be pretty, but the receiver's not catching the ball, right? So, or if they do, Caillou's making it very difficult. But Caillou's been growing. I mean, literally for the last couple of weeks, you just see him taking steps after step after step. I remember a couple of weeks ago, he messed up a one play in practice, and he started to kind of get down on himself. Pete walks over, takes him to the side, starts talking to him, and ever since, I promise you, since then, it's like take off. So
He had one play today, and I'm not going to tell you who the receiver was, but it was a starter, and he just ran them
Mhm.
off the field. Literally ran them off the field, and they went out of bounds.
Yeah.
And you should have heard his teammates.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, look good. Okay,
Yeah.
another guy that we just got to talk about. I mean, he made 3 or 4 catches today. I mean, Jacoby
Yeah.
every day,
Every-
every
yeah.
freaking
Yes.
day.
Yes.
He just
He just does it. He gets
he's a baller.
yes, he's a baller, dependable. I think it's one of the best. Like when you see the ball going towards Jacoby's direction, you think he's going to catch the ball almost right. He it's just what he does, man. So every day, Jacoby's so dependable, so quiet, right? He just does what he's supposed to do and goes home. So yeah, it's hard not to notice what Jacoby does, and it's hard to defend Jacoby. He does a great job at running the route, but then he starts to kind of improvise, and
Mm.
good luck.
You want to know who he reminds me of personality-wise?
Mhm.
Marvin Harrison.
Really, I can see.
Remember how Marvin
Very
was
confident.
just business?
Yeah.
He wasn't a rah-rah.
Yeah.
He wasn't Mr. Emotional.
Mhm.
He just did his business. I'll never forget one time I was in the locker room and somebody asked him, boy, Marvin, you did this and this and this. And he's like, well, I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
And he was almost like surprised at this
This person surprised.
media person asking him. And he's like, he goes, and I just remember Marvin saying, well, he wasn't a jerk either.
Right.
He's like, I'm supposed to. That's why they pay me.
Yeah.
Like,
Doing my job.
why are you making a big deal out of it? That is Jacoby. He's just a blue collar lunch pail.
Yeah. Does his job. I mean, that's really what Jacoby does. Throw the ball his direction, and he's probably coming down with it.
All right, talking about guys that do it every day, we got two more.
Mhm.
Brock Bowers. I mean, he had a one. First of all, Gino's crushing camp.
Yes.
He's
100%.
crushing camp. It is not even close. In my 6 years of covering the Raiders in Vegas, they have never had a quarterback who even remotely looks like Gino. Just don't have them. Gino is putting that ball. Now, he did have an interception today.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember who made it. It was Terrell Edmonds. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he put this ball, and this is what Gino does. He puts it right where only one guy can get it.
Mhm.
And Brock just thump one-handed.
Yeah.
And even, I'm looking at him, and I look back, and there's Pete, and Pete just big old smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you think of him today?
And he had another one as well. I'm pretty sure everybody saw it. I'm pretty sure he was at least double covered. He might have been triple covered.
I thought it was triple covered.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think he was triple covered. And he had to turn his body. It was just, and then even Cam Miller referenced it. And he's just like, hey, that's what Brock does, right? That's what that's what we all think. Like, he can make the most superstar catch, and you just kind of shake your head because it's Brock being Brock.
Was that the deep route?
That was the
flag
right?
route?
Yeah, or it was right. It was kind of, I think it might have been, I might be wrong, but I think it might have been a seam route. That Brock was running. I could be wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But yes, it was a nice play. 3 players around him. Brock had to. I mean, it was.
All right, I was thinking of a different one.
No, he had 2.
Yeah,
he had multiple today, and it's Brock Bowers being Brock Bowers. So yeah, another day.
Okay, let's talk about a guy that we've been talking about a lot. Michael Mayer. I'm gonna tell you folks something. Him and I, Zeke and I told you, get him on your fantasy team. This kid today. Now he's looked great all
Mm-hmm.
camp. I mean, the whole camp he's looked great. He's looked engaged. Everything. He had a catch today where he had to get low.
Mhm.
He just bent his body, and how he stayed standing.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, he's not as big as me, a lot bigger than you,
Yes.
and so
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a lot bigger.
a lot bigger than you, nowhere near my size. But he got so low, he contorted himself,
Mhm.
got the ball, and with 2 guys on him,
Yeah.
he went up. I'm like, I was standing next to somebody, and I go, Is that Brock Bowers wearing Michael Mayer's jersey? And they go, sure did look like it. I mean, Michael Mayer, you try.
Hey, listen. I've been on the Michael Mayer. I've been leading that charge for
You've been preaching that.
for some years, but especially this year. The Raiders have so many offensive weapons that he should be one of the biggest beneficiaries of the weapons and of Chip Kelly. Calling the plays. He's looked great this training camp. He looks renewed. I think that's the word I would use for him. He looks like he's himself. That's what I'll say. Michael Mayer looks like himself. A guy that's happy to be here, ready to work. He looks fresh. His body looks right. He's ready to go, man. So I'm expecting a lot of touchdowns from Michael Mayer this year.
I was watching practice today with Q Myers and from ESPN, and Q and I were talking, and I am going to make a prediction here.
Okay.
And you tell me if you. I think he's going to have less numbers this year. Talking about Brock.
Okay, yeah.
But more meaningful numbers.
100%.
And here's why. Everyone knows who he is now.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of ego in the NFL. Oh, we're not going to. You don't have to double team him. He's a rookie. Well, and he made everybody pay.
Yes.
He's going to be double teamed all the time now.
Mhm.
Jacoby, and then they have to worry about Ashton.
Yes.
I'm going to make this bold statement. I wouldn't be shocked if when the season over, Michael Mayer has better numbers.
Oh, yes.
And it's not because, and I think Brock's going to. I think he already is better than last year.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
No, definitely better. Brock is definitely better than last year. But to your point, I do think, and it's not just for Brock necessarily. I think the receivers across the
Mhm.
board, they might not necessarily have high numbers, but that's a testament to how much firepower they have, right?
Mhm.
They got so many different people they can spread the ball around to, and only one football. That I feel like some of those numbers are going to be lower. But I do think Brock is going to be the guy that's helping you move the ball down the field, especially with his ability to run after catch. I think that's going to be huge this year, especially because Brock has slimmed down a little bit and he looks faster from what we, even faster than last year. So I think those yards that he gets might not be as many as last year, but they will be very impactful
I was
for the team.
I was having dinner with Kirk Cousins one night at our buddy Joel Foreman's wedding. Love you, Joel. Love you, Kirk. And we were talking about distribution,
Mhm.
and Kirk was talking about how critical it is to get the ball in multiple guys' hands. It keeps everybody engaged,
hmm
but it keeps the defense
Guess.
literally off balance.
hmm
That is the thing. Since that day, I have not covered it, and that's a long time.
Yeah.
I have not covered a team that's going to have the balance of this one.
Oh no, and
This is.
yeah.
Can I make another
Yeah,
prediction?
I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah.
I think this is going to be a top 10 offense if Gino's healthy.
Yeah, I think they definitely have the potential to. 10, 15, somewhere in there. They still have some work to do, obviously, but I think they're on the right track for sure. So, in terms of getting the ball out to everyone, I think Chip Kelly is emphasizing that too, not just in his play calling, but in terms of who they're keeping on the roster, who we expect them to keep on the roster. I think that's why they're 4 or 5.
Every time you hit the table, you're
I'm sorry.
shaking the
I'm
can.
sorry. I'm a hands guy.
You're
I'm a hands
excited.
guy. I'm sorry. I'm trying to contain excitement.
Are you Italian?
Yeah. But no, I think that even down to who, having 3, 4, 5 different running backs that they believe in, 4, 5, 6 different receivers, I think that's where Chip is going. Hey, we can use whoever we want to, whether you know their names or not, and we're still going to be effective.
Yeah, I got to tell you though, this offense. You say up 10 to 15. I think they're going to be top 10. I'm going to have a big article coming out before the season on my 5 big Raider predictions. But I'm just telling you, there's so many weapons here
Yes.
that are performing well. All right, let's get on to something else I want to talk about. They spent a lot of time. Now, remember, we're not going to share schematics with you. That would be unfair to the Raiders. That would not be professional as us as journalists. But they spent a ton of time today, more time than in any other practice, I believe, and we've read every one, on the deep ball.
Yes.
A ton.
Yeah.
Now, they work on the deep ball every day.
Mhm.
But it seemed to me there was a lot more today than usual. Was there to you?
I noticed that, and I think that's because they are so close to being where they want to be.
Yeah.
I think they're frustratingly close, right? And it takes practice even more than normal to get that, right? So I think they're probably about 90% of the way. Like the balls, the passes look beautiful, the routes look beautiful in terms of the long ball, but they're just a little bit off on where they want to be at to convert consistently on the long ball.
Yeah, to me though, I was surprised how much time they spent. That was not truthful. Not surprised. I was pleasantly
Yeah.
surprised because we're seeing them hit them in
Yeah.
practice, and they've yet to hit it big in the game.
And I was going to say today might be the practice where they've hit the most long balls in practice. So you see the progression in terms of the work they're putting in. Now it has to translate to the football game.
All right, let's talk about a guy who's a straight up dog.
Mhm.
They list him at 5'9", 204. I don't believe either number.
Mhm.
I think both are exaggerated. Dylan Labe.
Yes.
So let me just give you guys all the story. I love Dylan. Everybody knows that. My mom is from New England. My 88-year-old mother loves him, loves that accent. That's how my mom has that accent. And when they got in the building, talking about Spy Tech, talking about Carroll, they didn't even know his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had no idea. Forget, what's the guy, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? What's his name? The actor?
Oh, Will Smith?
Yeah. Forget Will Smith. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah. They had no idea what the name was.
His name wasn't even in their mouth.
Yeah,
They had no idea who he was. Okay. And so when I did my original projection of the 53-man roster, I didn't have Dylan on there because between us, And talking to some people, I don't think they had him on there.
Yeah.
All he has done, mouth shut, head up,
Mhm.
and at allegedly 5'9", 204 pounds. Do you believe either one of those numbers, by the way?
Wait,
I believe the 5. I
yeah,
don't believe the 9.
yeah, the 9. I'm about to say I'm
And I
not
don't
sure,
believe the 204.
or maybe I don't know.
If he's
204
204,
maybe, but the height
no,
is
no,
what I
no, no.
want.
If he's 204, I'm a Victoria's Secret thong bikini model.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
we
sir.
both know that ain't happening. But anyways, all he has done is come in, Z, fight, scratch, ball, and as little as he is, that kid has the heart of a warrior. He's a fighter, and I think he's got a spot.
Yeah, I think he's so too. And then, I mean, in terms of fighting, I mean, think about the situation he walks into, right? They just draft Ashton, right? You still got Zamir. They signed Raheem.
But Tommy Malott,
Tommy, like he
that
has to
was the
fight.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, like he had the battle, right? There was a point where we didn't know what was going to happen with Dylan, especially when training camp first started. In practice. We just didn't know. And now, hey, he's got a spot. He's earned it.
Mhm.
He's been grinding. He's been fighting. It's been impressive to see. A lot of times, it's all we just want to see the fight. A lot of times, we want to see you. We want to see you claw. We want to see you scrap. That's what training camp is about, and that's what Dylan's been doing.
He has just shown up every day with a smile
Yeah,
and a
ready to go.
lunch pail.
Ready to go.
The pride of West Hampton, New York, man.
Ready to go.
And you know what Ashton, what Zeke and I love? He is the nicest kid in the whole world.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're a dad, I don't care if he was the lumber manager at Home Depot. You and I both have daughters.
Yes,
I would love for them to marry someone exactly like him.
he's a cool guy.
And
Down.
football out of it.
Yeah.
Just salt of the earth kid. All right, Labe's a dog. Okay, there was a development today that I found fascinating. Alex Kappa's back.
Okay.
But JPJ still was running with the one. I know they're going to do the or. To me, I think internally it's already settled, which I told everyone when they're bugging me about the thing.
Mhm.
I said when it's all settled,
Yeah.
I expect JPJ to be there. Today, regardless of what they said, do you not think the decision's made?
Yeah, and I think so, and I thought so, and I think they just had to kind of take the young man through some learning lessons that like a coach.
Learning lessons. That's a
So,
good way of saying it.
Yes, yes. So I definitely think JPJ is the guy. I think, but at the same time, you got to figure some things out. It's only year 2, so
Yeah.
I think there's been some things he's had to figure out.
Let's talk about there were some potentially very ugly. There were a couple of times where it looked like there could have been some serious injury.
Yes.
Okay? Not going to name any names, anything like that. That wouldn't be appropriate. But the point was that would have been very ugly to have seen that. And so if I'm the Raider Nation right now and I'm going to bed at night praying my novenas, just no injuries.
Yeah.
This is not a deep team. I predicted 9 wins. And remember, after the 53-man roster comes out, I always revise my thing. I'm not sure that I'm going to do much revision, but I think there will be some. But they don't have the depth to get over 500. They've got some young players
Mhm.
that could come along and improve quickly. But when I say they don't have depth, they're just, after they get past that first string,
Yeah.
there's so much youth. That could have been, luckily, it worked out for them, but it could have been ugly.
I personally, and correct me if I'm wrong, they don't have the room for any injuries. I think one injury to pretty much any position group, especially to a starter, is worst case scenario with this team. Now again, starting lineup they should be able to get through, but if one injury, and it's a 17 game season, so you kind of have to plan for injuries. But with that in mind, yeah, there's definitely some depth issues for sure.
All right, so I'm working on my final projection for the 53-man roster. I'm not going to say names yet, but remember, that comes out the Monday after the Arizona game, the day before the 53-man roster is released. So make sure you look at my next projected. I do have some changes off of the last one. I've done 2, one in the off season and then one midway through training camp. That'll be my last one before the next day when the actual 53 comes out. I want to talk to you, though, about this because I think this is very interesting to me. A guy that I thought is doing very well and had his best day of practice, and he's new, Terrell Edmonds. I thought he was great today. He had an interception of Geno that, wow, and
Yeah.
it was not a bad throw.
Yeah, no, I think Gino was surprised by how fast Edmonds was moving. I'll be honest with you. I think Gino just,
I didn't think he was that fast. Did you?
yeah, like he came in, like the way he, in terms of how fast he is, no, I didn't necessarily think he was that fast. But in terms of that play specifically, my man was flying. Like he came out of nowhere on that interception. But in general, I don't necessarily attach him with the word speed. But I think on that play, I think he might have caught Gino a little bit by surprise.
Well, you said that good. You just said I would not put the word speed with him. I always look at him as a tactician,
Mhm.
not a speedster.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he had another jet. Now you know this. A
Yeah.
lot of media like to sit here and, oh, he shouldn't have thrown that pass and shouldn't have thrown that pass. But I try to look at it. I would have thrown that pass.
Yeah. Yeah, the pass, there was nothing wrong with. I mean, obviously the
And,
pass was intercepted, but
and you could see when he intercepted it,
Mhm.
Gino's like,
if he can get that one, he deserves it.
if you
Right?
can
Like,
get that one,
yeah,
yeah, you can have that
yeah,
one, brother.
100%. Yeah, yeah,
It's yeah.
yeah. He definitely flashed today. That especially on that interception, it was like, whoa.
It's like when Draymond Green, my buddy, goes to shoot a three, and they just back off.
Yeah,
Hey, you hit that one, good. You
got
can have those all day,
you,
day,
you
day.
got it. You got it.
We'll play the odds.
Exactly.
All right, I want to get to something that I find fascinating. Brian Stark, the assistant general manager, talked today. I thought he was really good, and I would have preferred to talk to Spytech, but he didn't, and that's not a slam on Brian or John.
Right.
But it was really good to be able to dig into his brain because he's a very intricate part of John's staff. And we talked about roster building. And I asked him this question, and I'm going to ask you the same. How much, when you're sitting there building a roster, do you have to debate, okay, this guy will help me this year. This guy will help me next year or in 2 years, and weigh it. And then I'm going to add this caveat. And yet you have Pete Carroll saying, compete, compete, compete. The best players are going to make this team. Talk about that dynamic.
It's definitely something you have to take into consideration, especially with where the Raiders are and how they're kind of looking into the future and trying to build for the future. But at the same time, because of where they are, I think they need to look in terms of taking care of right now. Obviously you want to keep guys that you think have the potential, but like you said, it's kind of counterproductive to preach competition, 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 and then we're making decisions for year 2, year 3. Like, no, we're competing right now. So yeah, I think you have to make those decisions. If I had to guess, I think that's kind of the way they'll probably lean. They're worried about more so right now than the future, but I don't think that they're completely forgetting about the next few years.
This is where we're going to learn about Pete Carroll and John Spytek's
Yes,
relationship.
huge. Yes, very much so.
If they make picks on this roster for the future,
It's
going to be John Spytek saying, "This is what I'm doing," and he has every right.
Mhm.
I have been a person who has advocated you have to have a general manager with general manager authority.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be a revisionist.
Yes.
Or if they make some picks and maybe take some risks,
it's going to be interesting.
We're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
And and neither one of us is implying tension.
No.
There is no tension between Pete and John.
Not at all.
Not in the least bit. And I actually had somebody send me an email the other day saying, "Hey, I'm hearing that John and Pete are not getting along." And it was somebody, it was not a fan. It was a media member in another market. And I'm like, whoever told you that is a liar, because there's literally no tension there. They're on the same page. It's just going to be interesting to learn whose philosophy, or have they really melded?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. But the thing is that we will figure this out soon, right? And I think that's what makes next week interesting.
All right, listen. So we talked today, Brian Stark. That video is up for you to watch. Don't forget to also go watch. Aiden O'Connell spoke. I thought it was really good.
I do too.
And listen, everybody in this media room has a ton of respect for Aiden as a young man and a human being. And so there were very tough questions, but asked like gentlemen.
Yep.
And
answered like a gentleman as well.
Yeah, and he didn't run from anything.
Right.
And I was very open with him. You're competing, and your second offensive line is very young.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, but I'm not a rookie.
Yeah.
I got to play better.
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah.
And then, we talk. I asked him about you. He stares down guys. And again, there were some other people. I think Vinny had a great question of him too, but there were several really good questions out. He answered them well. Ashton Ginty was great. His body language.
He's
He
ready.
he cannot. He could not. I would love to play poker with him
Yeah.
because he can't hide anything. He wears all of his emotions on his face.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you what I thought the most impressive person today was Cam Miller.
I agree. And we all wanted to hear what he had to say. And
Y'all need to
you know,
go check
you
out
got
his presser.
yes, Cam is a good one. Cam is a
So
good one.
check out all of those. Of course, we're going to continue at si.com/NFL/Raiders. 15 to 20 stories a day, tons of video, podcasts, observations, analytics, literally everything, A to B and everything in between. Nobody covers your Raiders better than what we do at si.com/NFL/Raiders. Thanks, everybody.